Good morning, you beautiful people. Good morning, sheepies. I hope they know that this isn't for them. We are not processing you today, sheepses. Today we are processing chickens using that fire over there. And then on the stoop here, we'll put the machine and we'll obviously make sure that everything is clean first. Process some chickens. People don't like it when I show it. I just wanted to tell you what's happening on that part of the farm today. Okay, so before we work here, we clean everything. Looky, wait. And then Lucas is cutting this for us. Yeah, this is an old piece that we found from the recycling yard. I think that's why every farm needs a recycling yard. We're gonna use this as an extension. Where's those other pipes? As an extension on those on the greenhouse. See how it's tapered on the one end? Fits in perfectly into this hole with the pop rivets, and then this goes into the other pipe, so that we have the planting station ready for the big food forest that we're planting on that side. I think it's very important to have something like that. So that's one of the steps we're doing while the other guys are cleaning. So this structure is what I would like to turn into the propagation center, along with the treehouse structure that we have here. Now our hiccup is it is quite low and obviously a little bit dilapidated. So what I was thinking is to use these poles that we have here, see here and there, and then basically dig them down and then put this structure on top of that, and have a big structure, and we put some steel tables below it. This is now all if funding allows, etc, etc, but that's the idea behind it. Let me see if I can maybe perhaps by myself add that pipe. I hope I can do that. This is now while the other guys are starting on the chicken processing. So that pipe is hammered in here, then it goes in there. That'll do. I think it's not really going to carry a lot of weight. And so I think that works. So now I promised you that I'm not going to send you too much or show you too much animal processing, but this I thought was quite lekker. So our process is just before it gets to Lisa's station. It goes into that bucket below there. That's between 45 and 50 degrees we found is the sweet spot for our machine. I'm sure if I googled it instead of experimenting, I probably would have gotten closer to the truth. But if it's too hot and you place it in the plucker, then it actually tears the skin. And if it's too cold, then the feathers doesn't come out as nicely. So between 45 and 50 degrees we found is the sweet spot. Lisa decided to join us. She's got her summer clothes on, and then Lucky is on this side. He knows how to gut them properly and cleanly, how to cut everything out nicely, and then from there on it goes into the ice water, where they lay for a couple of, until we've basically done, and then we pack all of them. We are receiving more things from Propagation. This here is a duck cage. The metal here. This is something nice that we're gonna do. I'll show you that in a future episode. Actually, you're gonna see that right before this episode is over. And then we've got some poles. Lisa brought some nice scratchy things for the horses. And so we're gonna, horses and cattle and all sorts of things. So we're gonna use that for that, which is fantastic. Thank you guys. You can just put it there. So Tommy and Moremi is fixing our more gates for our pig tractor system. So we've already got those 2 over there, and then they are adding a couple more in for us. I think that's good. Tommy, are you winning? Are you learning a lot? Good morning, Shirley.
Good morning, sir.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice and warm today.
Very cold.
Looky. Nice and warm today.
Today is very cold, very cold, very good.
Very cold.
Too much.
So we have interesting problem. We have frost coming probably tonight, and we took the plastic coverings off the net house a while ago, or off Wally's sunroom a while ago, and so we took it off because it started looking bad and tearing, and we had another plan. So there's this person, one tool man. He gave us some money to put on some roof plates. Our plan is solid, one see-through, one solid, one see-through, but we need to get that done before tonight. So I think we have the plates here. We don't have the nails, so I need to drive quickly to town to go and get the nails. I don't really have the manpower. There's many people still sick, so this will be a hiccup. If this isn't done by tonight, we might lose some serious trees. So let's see if we can fix that. It's already 9:45 now. 44 now, and I just got back from town. Been in there for just over an hour. Propagation took maybe 20 minutes max. I had to check out some things for the build of Maureen's house, etc. They're still working out some prices for us, but that's what I hate most about going to town. As soon as you sort of leave the farm, then you know it's going to be 20 minutes to get in. So this is our drive into the farm. We used to cross that side, that got too wet, and so we made this little new path. It's a bit lower. Always feel like you're gonna bump your head. This is obviously not made for cars. We have a gentleman's agreement with Transnamib to allow us to get in. Here you can make a little bit of speed, and so this is the lowest point of entry into the farm, basically. I'll show you. Jump out. I don't know how we're gonna get this done today. My people that's supposed to normally help me with this stuff is busy, so quickly want to close the gate. Okay, the gate closed. Pause the video for that. This is our road. We still need to fix it. We started laying bricks, but we still need to have a soil on top of that. The bricks is just so your car doesn't go any lower into the mud. I think our muddy season is past now, but we definitely need to come and fill those walls, and that we can obviously do quite well. Oh, sorry, car's complaining about my seatbelt. That we can easily do with the mud or the sand we take out from the area where we're digging the sewage. So there's a pony camp happening today, so you might see quite a lot of chittlers all around. I should probably drive a little bit slower. And that's Shanae, she's the lady hosting the camp. And then on this side, the boys are building the pig tractors to try to get it done. Yeah, so the very first thing is all these solar lights needs to come off, and then we need to take the shade net off. So finally, I went to town quickly to get the ladder. The boys started painting linseed oil on the beams while I was away. The ladders that we had was a bit too short. Imps will need to learn how to work with a hammer. It is quite a story if you're not used to hammering in a tool. So I showed them very quickly how fast it can happen on the first one. I used to do I believe what's the English word, but like the wooden parts that you put around the concrete slabs on top of buildings. We call it bekisting. So that is one thing we did. Yolita's got a bit of a stomach thing, and so I did a little bit of research. We obviously gave her all the Western medicine that we can, but all the chemical medicine. But the other thing that I did for her is I went to town quickly and bought some cabbages, made some cabbage cures. One shot every hour apparently relieves a lot of the pain, soothes it, and makes it build up that layer a lot quicker. Enzo, how's your gates going?
It's all going well.
Very well.
I'm only left with one now.
Left with one?
Yeah, it's on the other side.
Oh really? So we actually have a pig tractor here already. We've got 4. Okay, I'm quickly going to grab that cable of that chain. And then we see quickly what we do with the chains.
Okay.
And then, but finish this one, and then I'll grab the chains and we'll see how we go. So is this one done now?
Yeah, I just need to touch it up.
Okay.
It's moving. Just need to...
Okay, do that quickly, and then we take it from there.
Okay.
Okay, Enzo, so I don't have enough of these chains. But what I want you to do is, I have enough chain, I think. I don't have enough little hooks. But tie it there, quite strong,
Okay.
or tie it to himself,
Okay.
like that, quite strong, and then make it like this. I think maybe put a gate next to this one.
Okay.
And then check if you wrap it around that gate.
The other one.
Yeah. So let's do that quickly. Bring a plier and a thing. Let's do one quickly. Wrap it. Come tie it here for me. Plier and a wire. Plier and a wire. Yeah, like that. Put it through there. In a perfect world, I think we would have welded this, but the wire idea for now, cheaper, faster, okay, and more flexible. Okay, bring me another gate. Trying to move the camera and hold the gate, yeah, just like that. Now bring that part, bring that side, this side, this side. So we'll only put the chains on the side where the hinges used to be. Okay, so now we put it around here. You see how long does it need to be to click in? Give me one of those carabiner fingers. So put it around. You see if you stick it to himself, what does that look like? Do you think you can do this every day?
Yeah.
Like that? Okay, then you take the rest of the chain off. You cut that off. And you do the same here. Okay? And you do the same on each gate with a hinge. So take the gates have got the sides where the hinges used to be. Over here. And so you do it on all the hinge sides. You just put one on top, one at the bottom. one on top, one at the bottom. Then when we build our chicken, or when we build our pig tractor,
Okay.
that chain will tie this gate. This chain on this side will tie the next gate. And then we have a cage that we can move for the chickens to be around. So, sorry, let me just change this thing quickly. So that thing is tied there at the bottom. There's one here. We're waiting for the other guys to come from Pupkovitz.
Okay.
But then there's one here. And then the next day we add a gate there to come here. We add this gate here to come here. Then we just loosen that gate and we fold it in.
Okay.
And so now this is the new cage. And then they eat here and they scratch and they manure. And the next day they go to the next spot. And then so they continue on throughout the field and they fertilize the whole farm. You see, that's the idea. We can do that with the sheep, we can do that with the pigs, we can do that with the chickens. So this is chicken proof. So it's quite an expensive system. But that way, when you move it off, that land now has a time to rest for maybe a year. So here, the way the chickens are grazing, you see how the lucerne is dying because they are constantly eating just that. But if we had a way to move them every day to a different spot, then that spot that they were leaving, that spot would have a year to recover. That's the idea. All right, add those ones. Add the chain, cut this chain, and then add that one below there. You can maybe leave a little room for us. Cut it there. Yeah, and then the next one the same. Just add a little room just in case we want to make it longer in the future. Okay, do that. So after lunch, this is what the roof looks like. Ims did a okay measurement. He just lost 10 centimeters there. Or was it Lucas's fault? Let's blame it on Lucas, I think. Everything is Lucas's fault, I think. And then the other thing that they made a mistake is they didn't keep in line with my first. I told them this is our overhang and they sort of skipped that. But in general, we'll cut that off. That's not the end of the story. World stories. I think it looks lekker. Let's put the plates on. Okay, so now this is our solution. We fixed a point here with a line, and we fixed a point on that side with a line, right on that side. And now all we have to do is put every piece of zinc right on that line. And so we think that's going to be the solution. A big hiccup here today is that I am pressed for time on my edit. I am so much behind on my work and I still have I can't do it tonight. I have to exercise tonight because we have a grading coming up in 2 weeks time where we decide what kind of belts we wear. I really couldn't care less, but I want to show my boys something special and show them, you know, that it's important to practice these things and not to skip your exercises, etc. and start with something and finish with something. So the belt thing doesn't matter to me, but it's still something that I have to do. In any case, so I have to edit while the guys do this work. And so I think they're on the right track. I definitely think they're on the right track. I come in at about every 15 minutes or so. Come and have a look and see. Enzo, I see you are the spokesperson for this. Tell me, what is the problem? Tell the camera what is the problem. Or is there any problems?
It's not such of a big issue.
Yeah?
It's just the measurements are not square.
Not square.
Yeah, but it's not really that far, just a little bit.
You managed to fix it?
Yeah.
Good. So Enzo is the one in charge there. And then Gift and Ims is learning from him. Enzo is our supervisor today. Huh? Enzo, you must tell him to go to the shop and get a long weight. That's what we used to do. And then they go to the shop and they wait long. if the if the app is bothering you, then you tell them to go to the shop and get a long wait, ask for a long wait. And those people normally know exactly what you mean. And they have him wait for a long time. So the guys decided to keep on working overtime. Many of them has worked through lunch to get this up and running. I decided with a deadline that's going to be the best way to get as much done as possible. But you will not believe me, we have one plate to fill. This is what it looks like. I'm going to pick up this camera as high as I can quickly. So there's some light and darkness. Every second one is light. The kids have started moving the trees to safety, not to be too cold. We'll move the rest in now. And this is what it looks like. Every second one is sun. I've been advised by the experts that if I make it all sun, then I will burn myself to smithereens. So every second one is sun. And so now we have to figure out how we are going to do that one, all these corners. Now I have a door there. Then I have a couple of loose window frames, aluminium window frames, and then I have a big piece of glass in town. That's currently my ammo for what I have to close there. So thinking frame everything out, put the door in, put the windows in the way we can, put frames, and then for now, before we have glass or anything, we'll probably put plastic in there. We'll see how we do it. What's the best way to do it? But also, that's going to be the end of my story. I think that clip was in the sun. That's going to be the end of my story. Thank you so much, One Tool Man, for this. This is a giant help. Giant help. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.